Welcome to the webinar training series for the MEville to WEville curriculum. In this webinar, participants will be provided information about the literacy strategies they will find in MEville to WEville. If you have questions regarding MEville to WEville, you can contact the curriculum team by email at curriculum@ablenetinc.com. Please feel free to contact us for additional support or follow-up questions. Remember that implementing a new curriculum will take time. Let's get started. MEville to WEville is an emergent literacy and communication program that primarily teaches concepts of print by way of experiential learning in the lessons and what students know to use and create print materials. Linking their own experiences with the written word helps students understand the purpose of reading. MEville to WEville is designed for students K through 12 with moderate to severe disabilities who struggle with literacy skills. As we know, there are some students in all grade levels who are at the very beginning of literacy. There are students who do not know about words or letters or understand what reading is all about. This may be their first experience with reading, and they may have had little to no instruction with literacy. MEville to WEville has been written in an age-neutral fashion to appeal to learners of all ages who are just at the very beginning of literacy instruction, whether in kindergarten or high school. Reading, writing, speaking, and listening are the four components of literacy. Students learn these skills concurrently at different individual rates. It is for that reason that MEville to WEville lessons are written to include all four components. All students can learn to be literate, but literacy may look different for each individual student. Students learn concepts of print by experiencing vocabulary and word meaning in activities, writing, and reading during those experiences, and about those experiences, working with letter sounds and rhyming words, and by way of literacy strategies that are learned over time, building skills slowly, so students can understand what it means to make a text connection, make predictions, read with a purpose, and identify main idea and details, to name a few. All of these activities in the lessons are highly supported for success and motivation to learn about reading and learn to enjoy it, reinforcing the idea that this is what I do and think about when I read. In this way, students gain an understanding of what reading is about and why it is important. By raising expectations and focusing on repetition and variety within the lessons, teachers allow students to acquire new knowledge and skills over time. When students are on the path to literacy, learning what they need to know to gain concepts of print skills, they are mirroring what their general education peers have done from a very young age into their school years. In this way, students are on their way to being literate, whatever their potential may be. Students learn about literacy strategies in a highly supported way, regardless of reading ability, so they can begin to understand why we read and what we think about and do when we read. These strategies are taught from the beginning of MEville to WEville, starting with basic skills, then build on them across the curriculum. These strategies are take a picture walk, use picture clues, make text connections, set purpose for reading, read with a purpose, identify details and main idea, identify characters, action, and setting, plan and research a topic, and write a book based on research. Let's take a look at some examples. During a Unit 1 MEville to WEville lesson, students are asked to place sticky windows on words in the book text or sticky note words to match the illustrations. In this example, the student found the words in the sentence, "Mia felt sad," and placed a sticky note on top of it. Another student saw Mia look sad in the picture and placed a sticky note with the word sad on the picture when the teacher asked her to place the word on a picture that looks sad. This continues with all of the remaining emotion words until they run out or an example cannot be found. Then, teacher and students reread the book, only this time reading the sticky note window sentences or the sticky note words that have been placed on the pages. Students begin learning about identifying main idea and details by first learning what a detail is. This occurs slowly starting in Unit 1, working with members of a variety of categories, and ends up here in Unit 3, using the literature books to identify what teachers do. The details are the teacher's actions. Here you see the teacher leading the students in clapping on the left and telling them something on the right, which will be identified with pick symbols and placed into a word web. After the details are placed, the main ideas will be identified as what teachers do. Making text connections is about linking known to new information. On this page, you will see students make text-to-self connections in a lesson. In essence, students would recognize something in a book that makes them think of a similar object or experience in their own lives. As this is difficult for many students who have limited communication skills or memory, it is up to you and/or the student's family to identify those connections, then help students identify them so they can get the meaning of what a text-to-self connection is. Begin this activity in the lessons by creating text-to-self markers that can be placed in a book without damaging the pages. Simply cut apart the markers and fasten each to a sticky note. Begin to collect personal stories, photos, and/or previously created books for the students to become familiar with each individual's experiences. In this case, students and their families' experiences. You don't need photos, although photos help the student recall that memory if they can. You can always ask families to send in photos of experiences. You can make them specific or broad. In this example, the memory of a student having fun swimming with her family was used in a book created during a past MEville to WEville lesson. The teacher reviewed the past photos with the students before the lesson. The teacher read the literature book on the right straight through, then asked students to think about an experience that they had that is in the book. This could even be reviewed with the student, looking at all the photos and talking about what is going on. Read the book again, this time slower. When a text-to-self connection can be made, the student could show the connection or the teacher could guide the student in making it. The text-to-self connection here is, I have fun swimming with my family. This family has fun telling stories and jokes. The students can point to their picture and the picture in the book if it is difficult to explain, or you can use the Quick Talker 7 to record the explanation for the student in front of the student. Give the student a chance to practice making the connection when they see you turn the page to the one you see on the right. The text-to-self connection marker is then placed in the text of the book on the right. Say, you made a text-to-self connection, or have the student say, I made a text-to-self connection. After all the connections were made that could be made, reread the book with the students so the students can again make their text-to-self connections. For a text-to-text connection, students need to have an experience with a book or other text, such as lists, posters, signs, letters, etc. Begin by reviewing these print materials and talk about what you see on the pages or other printed objects. Then read the new story. Work together to think of a connection to a new book. You could give choices of other pages or other text that might make a connection. Let's say the page on the left is the familiar text. After you review the discussion, you read the book on the right. You notice the teacher is writing. Ask if the students noticed the teacher from the other book writing, then flip the pages with the students to locate it. Ask a student to mark each book with the text-to-text connection marker. Say, we made a text-to-text connection. When learning about reading to plan and research a topic, students learn what researching is all about. It is an excellent introduction to how we get facts from books and how we can read to learn. The lesson begins with a KWL chart. Students use materials, objects, photos, pic symbols, books, etc. on the table to help them tell what they know. In this example, they are researching a wolf. One student eye gazes to a picture of a dog. The teacher might say, "Oh, you're right, a wolf is like a dog," and writes it under the No heading on the chart. The teacher helps students look through the research guide for ideas on what they might want to know about a wolf. One student sees dog food and wonders what wolves eat. Another sees swim and recalls her dog can swim. Nonfiction text and internet searches are used to support students identifying information. The teacher writes these things on the board along with the pic symbols they saw on the guide and asks the questions about what the students want to know about wolves. Then they read and take notes with another copy of the research guide. They find out that wolves swim and run, and they also eat meat. The teacher adds the pic symbols and the facts on the chart under Learn, and they discuss why eating dog food might not make sense for a wolf who lives with the other wolves in the wild. To bring purpose to their research, students write a book with the information they found. As we conclude this webinar, I would like to thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, please contact a curriculum team representative at curriculum@ablenetinc.com. We look forward to hearing from you.